Superintendent Truberbach said that other districts are actively marketing themselves as an alternative and in this area. And so that really struck a chord with me as someone who's worked in business for many years. How can we better market the community? Because we have so many things to be proud of here. We have so many good things happening. How do we do a better job of communicating that? Not just on social media, but through community events such as this and forums like this, where we can talk really positively about what's happening here in Malacca. And then, let's get together a plan. Let's see how we can compete. And let's, and it might not be, a new hockey arena like Princeton has, where we're never going to get those hockey kids, but let's get the kids that can have other programming, other electives, other offerings that we can do it. We can prioritize it as a community.
Thank you. Mr. Quaintance?
It's a great question that is concerning. I think it's concerning to the board, it's concerning to the administration. At a recent work session, the current board directed the administration, specifically the superintendent, to spend this next year to try and figure out what is the cause of the students leaving. And I'm not going to suggest that right now that it's because of activities. I don't know the reason. If we knew the reason, I think we'd be more aggressively pursuing that problem. We're trying to figure that out, and it's important for the board to continue to pursue that. Hopefully we're able to figure out that reason. We have taken some steps a few years ago, and again, I've been on the board for a while. Other districts send their buses deep into our district, and that was something that we didn't want to go down the path of, and we've changed that. We need to go out, we need to get those kids wherever we can get those kids. Ideally, if we can get our kids that are here to stay here, that's what we're going to be best off doing.
Thank you. Mrs. Nelson?
I kind of have to echo what Mr. Quaintance said. Being a part of the board for a short time here, I was appointed in August to join the board with a recent resignation. And at our last meeting, we did talk heavily about really understanding why our children are not staying here. So I do agree that it is a priority of the school board to really get to understand that issue, because it is a big issue. And it's one of the reasons that I really chose to run for school board too, is because I think it's not only an issue for our school, but it's an issue for our community. Your kids go to a different school, the parents might be transporting them, they're shopping at different stores, they're not shopping at Teals anymore. If they're going to Princeton, they're maybe doing it at Coburn. So it's a bigger issue than just losing our students. It's about the community as a whole as well. Outside of tasking the board with really understanding this, I think maybe it would be prudent to do a little bit more research on some area schools. Are they experiencing declines in their enrollment too? Is it just something that we're experiencing, or is it something that's a broader issue? And if it's not, then we really, really need to dig deep into what is causing the Malacca kids to leave. So, like I said, I echo a lot of what the current board members have said, and we really want to try hard to fix it.
Thank you. Mr. Schulberg?
Well, open enrollment is the law of the land. It allows you as parents to decide how you want your children educated and where. It's up to the school district to provide a very good quality education. Education should not be a numbers game. How many students we have, how many students we lost, where they come, where they go. It should be more about the education we're providing for those students and make sure it's the best possible education that we can afford.
Thank you. Ms. Larson?
Just to kind of piggyback a little bit onto what Mr. Schulberg said, unfortunately, it is a numbers game. It is about the funding. It is about the money. It is about our facilities. And 2 years ago, we had a couple different, I don't know if we'd call them task force or community open forum type things for a couple different things that came up from the school board. We talked about changing calendar. We talked about different things when the referendum started gaining a little speed. And the thing that echoed throughout all of those meetings was it is about numbers. And we need to keep these kids here in order to get the facilities, to get the extra classes, to get the curriculum, to keep great teachers that we already have, not going to other school districts. But we need to really figure it out. We do need to do the research. We need to figure out why the kids are leaving. But unfortunately, it is a numbers game. And if the community isn't educated about that and understands exactly how it works as far as state funding and property tax funding and all that kind of stuff, unless you really understand that, we're not going to make any progress here, and I'm here for our community.
Thank you. Question number 2. A.J. Giuliani, noted educational author and innovative learning specialist, says, "Our job as teachers and parents is not to prepare students for something. Our job is to help students prepare themselves for anything. How should we support the use of technology in classrooms and for students to help prepare students for anything?" Mrs. Pomodoro.
Thank you. Another great question. I'm very supportive of Malacca's investments in technology that they've made in recent years. The iPad one-to-one program, I think, is incredible for a rural district to be able to level the playing field for our students when they graduate, that they're not at a disadvantage just because they went to a rural school district. Any career that you choose is going to have a technology component. I mean, we have these things attached to us at all times, and my 3-year-old can school me on how to use that device and his iPad. So as a board member, I continue to support investments. I know that the board is on track to continue the investments for one-to-one iPads all the way down to the elementary, so I'd be supportive of those investments. The second half of the question was about how to prepare students for anything, and I think this kind of leads to talking about, I'm a firm believer that not every student needs to go to a 4-year college in order to be successful in this world. If anything, our community colleges and our technical colleges are where a lot of great things are happening. And if you look at the statistics and how low our unemployment is, not only in the state but around the country, those jobs that are needed, those technical jobs, are not only getting filled fast by those students, but then they're also getting those jobs at really, really high salaries because there's such a need for them. So I know that Malacca has already shifted and is talking about technical community college as well as 4-year degrees and really giving students as much opportunity as possible with a technology component as well.
Thank you. Mr. Schulberg.
I think the technology in the school is very, very important. It's probably one of the most important things, is to try to keep up with the technology. That's not an easy task by any means. Technology isn't just computers and cell phones and whatnot. There's all kinds of different technologies. And we should be working hard to bring those technologies, those ideas into our school to broaden our horizons for all our students. Sometimes we need to step away from a computer to get our noses out of our phones too. So we need to consider those things as well and have some one-on-one contact with our fellow human beings. So that's my thought.
Thank you. Mr. Parkos.
Thank you. We should be paying attention to what businesses and industry are using in technology. I mean, most businesses are on the leading edge because they need to do that to be competitive. We want to train our kids to go into these fields, whether it's a boat-tech industry, woodworking, metalworking, or a business, or CAD technologies, whatever it is. We need to be on that edge. We need to be making partnerships with these businesses. There are school districts out there across Minnesota that have made very great partnerships. Kimball, Minnesota, they've got a partnership with a local diesel tech where they bring them in and have them help teach the class to the kids. Minnetonka, they coordinate with businesses locally there to have them come in and work with students to create partnerships and projects for the students there. And it just goes on and on across the state. We need to make some of those partnerships here to help bring that technology, bring those opportunities to our students to help prepare them, to be a world-ready student and a world-ready he's offered students $25 an hour to come work for him for the summer. He's gonna teach them skills, apprenticeship, all that comes with that job. In the end, he'll hire them straight out, right out of high school at a high wage, $35 an hour, and there you go. I mean, it's happening all over the state, and we need to get on board with that.
Thank you. Mrs. Nelson?
Thank you. I think technology is extremely important in our schools. And, you know, the thing with technology is it's changing all the time. There's always something new. There's always something that you can be that is, or have that is better. So that's kind of a touchy thing. You want to have the stuff that is good and up to date, but you don't want to be chasing every innovation that's out there either. As the technology world likes to call it, is being on the bleeding edge. You know, don't be the first to have it, but you know, let them work out the bugs, and let's try to get it when it's maybe more affordable, and then also more user friendly. So I kind of like to. This question made me think of in my own industry, in the banking world. You know, there's technology changes all the time, from online banking to taking pictures of checks to be able to deposit them, and all the things that you can do. But we don't have all that technology at First National Bank. You know, we have some of it, and we're working to get more of it. And I think you kind of have to have that same mindset with the school. You know, let's do what we can. Let's have the best we can for our students and our customers. But we have to be good stewards of the taxpayer money and really invest in things that are going to give us the biggest bang for our buck. So I really think it's important, and we should do what we can to get what we can afford.
Thank you. Mr. Gerwig?
I don't know about you, but I can't believe what I'm hearing. These are people that want to be on the school board, and they're telling me about how they're going to provide unfunded training for industry. That's not the role of education. The Minnesota Constitution tells us, Article 13, Section 1, Uniform System of Public Schools. The purpose? Because our republic, small r, is dependent on an intelligent population, period. Not so you can go fix a car, not so you can go mow somebody's lawn, and not so you can run somebody's ATM machine. It's so that you can have a hand in the survival of our republic. And as far as technology, of course, this is an era of unprecedented growth in technology. And there has to be some informative process in the school for the kids to understand that. But you know, the problem I see, you know, my dad, okay? My dad, when he graduated from high school, he could read Greek and Latin. Now the kids can't read cursive writing. In town here, over a couple of year period, there were 2 times. One time I was in Subway, and the other time I was in Hardee's. And the restaurant had a problem with the cash register. And the kid couldn't make change. Junior won, and the other's a senior. I had to ask him. The one in Hardee's just reached in the till, here's your change. No counting, couldn't make change, but they're seniors. So we're failing in the passing on of knowledge. And if we fail in the passing on of knowledge to the next generation, we fail and we create a weakness in our republic.
Thank you. Ms. Larson?
I believe that we do need to stay as much as we can on the cutting edge of technology. I think we're doing a great job so far, but I think we do have opportunities, like I think Lane said, partnering with different businesses, with different corporations and things like that. There's tons of programs out there that will help schools with those sort of things. But also I appreciate, especially this year, we started doing a little work as far as preparing our kids for anything. There's a lot of danger that comes with technology, and I really appreciate that we started